All right, Truth Fighters. You know, sometimes on my show, I be wishing we had an extra hour. Today is one of these days because I have to address some stuff that's going on Facebook about the black churches that Charlene and Zandra are talking about. They don't believe anybody should be questioning the black churches. They don't think anybody should be attacking the black churches. Charlene says the church doesn't run the schools. The government does. People freely give their tithes and offerings to the church. That's the key right there, Charlene. You just made the argument for me. Look, if we're freely giving our tithes and offerings to the church for the betterment of the body of Christ, isn't part of the body of Christ going out doing Christ-like things, helping the community? See, and also you got to know your history. You know, Zandra writes on here that she agrees that we need to go talk to our mayors and councilwomen. The church is an easy target. God is non-tangible. Look, let me tell you something. We donating $14.5 billion a year averagely to black churches. It's a responsibility owed to these communities who are donating their money. And know your history. All right? Somebody in here talked about Oprah, why she didn't build schools and all this. Oprah doesn't have an obligation because that is money that she made. We didn't give it to her. She made it. We gave the church the money. And the history of the church, the foundation of the church, especially the black church, was to be the cornerstone, the tried stone of the community, where if your lights were getting cut off, you were getting evicted, you could go to the church and to the pastor and say, I got X, Y, and Z for a problem. My child needs money to go to school. They need, you know, X, Y, and Z, and the church would be there. That can't be the case today. Why can I say that? Now, I'm not saying it with all ministers. Don't get me wrong. There's some great men and women of God out here. But it can't be the norm when you look at all you got to do is drive around any urban city and see how many foreclosures are. We got more foreclosures this year than we had last year, and the media is not even talking about it. And where are the majority of these foreclosures at? In our neighborhoods. And that's why my motto started this week was in the next 18 months, I'm going to show you how to get out of debt, and I'm going to show you how you can start buying these properties. Now, if you got student loans, I can't help you with that, because if I knew how to do that, I would be out of debt. But I'm going to teach you how to get out of debt if you got credit cards and other things. I'm going to show you something that can help you out today. So 18 months from now, you could be buying these properties for $20,000 like some of these investors are doing right now. They are coming into your communities, buying your foreclosed homes in your communities for $20,000 or less, and sitting on that property because you know what? That property is going to be worth a lot of money in the next 5 years. It is an obligation to the church. It's no way a church should be sitting there making $69 million a year, and you got all this going on in the community around it, in the surrounding areas, and nobody's questioning what the church is doing. Even if it's doing something, it should be doing more if it's got $69 million coming in the door. $14.5 billion a year. That's just a disgrace. This ain't even got nothing to do with the damn government. You need to talk to your government. No, we don't. We need to talk to the damn ministers that's making all this money every week and ask them why aren't they pooling that money together to do something for the folks in the hood? Who's giving them their money? Tithe because they love the Lord and because that's what they believe. That's what the Bible tells them to do. So they tithe religiously when they don't even have no money. Look, they taking money they could be using to pay their light bills, to feed their kids, and giving it to churches every Sunday. And you mean to tell me the church don't got an obligation? We got to stop with this backward ass thinking. I swear to God, and excuse my French, but we think backwards as a people. You got folks who can barely pay their bills, giving a last, tied into a church, and you mean to tell me that church ain't got an obligation? This is hugely different from a government issue, hugely different from entertainers' positioning. This is everyday working people giving 10 to 20% of what they make because of their love of God and because they believe in the church that they belong to and the man or woman of God that they're following. You mean to tell me that man or woman or that church or that body of Christ doesn't have an obligation to the person who's obligated to it? We do How Smart Are We every Friday. Yasha, let's run this clip right quick before I get out of here.
Who was Medgar Evers?
Medgar Evers, famous black man, as far as I can go. Sorry.
Who was Medgar Evers?
I don't know.
Who was Medgar Evers?
Medgar Evers. Evers. I don't know.
Who was Medgar Evers?
He was shot in Mississippi for voting rights, I think, or something like that.
Who was Medgar Evers?
Who's what?
Medgar Evers.
Medgar Evers. I don't know.
Who was Medgar Evers?
Who was who?
Medgar Evers.
I have no idea.
Who was Medgar Evers?
Oh, okay. Medgar Evers. I heard a name, but I forgot.
Who was Medgar Evers?
He was, I'm not sure if I have the right story. Was he a man who was lynched in the South for, are you going to tell me if I'm right? You're not going to tell me if I'm right? Am I on the right track?
You're on the right track.
Okay. Who was lynched in the South basically for being black. I don't remember what he was accused of, but
Oh, Lord Jesus
Who was
Christ.
Medgar Evers?
Who was what?
Medgar Evers.
I don't know. Why are you asking me something I don't know?
What's your how I know you don't know?
I don't know.
Yeah. But you know the lyrics to Rihanna song. Or Drake. We backwards with our thinking, boy. Don't even know who Medgar Evers is. That's a damn shame. 877-373-9766. Talking to you, Truth Fighters. Right here, right now. We're on Downtown Show.